please welcome Mr. Tyler Main. Oh, how you doing, sir? How's your weekend?
Good, it's good. How you guys doing? Good? All right.
So,
now start with the questions.
So
This
the
is a Q&A.
The meat and potatoes, I have to ask just as a nerd fan.
You got meat and potatoes?
The meat and potatoes of the panel.
Oh, the panel. I was getting hungry.
Are obviously Michael Myers, as you are Michael Myers. But I had to ask.
I was?
You were.
Oh, okay.
But I had to ask, as a huge professional wrestling fan, man, when I do my research on you like trained with families like the Harts.
I did.
And the Guerreros.
I did.
And those are families that are like on the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. And then when you were in WCW, which if you own the WWE Network for $9.99 a month, you can go back.
Oh God, please don't.
But you were teaming up with like a young Nash and stuff.
I was. Yeah.
How was that whole like journey for you in professional wrestling?
Well, I was a tall, skinny kid, glasses, braces, dyslexic, growing up in Canada. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a pro wrestler, and everybody laughed. And then I went down to the Hart Dungeon with Stu Hart, which was a trip, and that started it all off. And then I went from there to LA and just started wrestling, and then met Flair, and Flair brought me into the WCW as Woman's Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Nitron in the beginning, and then here we are sitting here talking on a panel. There. Yeah.
Was Stu as grizzled as they always make him in the videos?
Stu, I'm telling you, Stu is a great guy.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey kid, come down, come downstairs. Let me show you something. Does this hurt, kid? And he put me in a double grapevine.
Oh.
And you go, fuck yeah, that hurts. Because he was one of the guys that would test you to make sure that you were there for the right reasons, which is cool.
And you retire from pro wrestling and you start getting into film and acting.
I did, yeah. It was kind of crazy how it came about. I wrestled in Mexico for CMLL for like 2 years or something like that. And they asked if I wanted to do one of those Mexican wrestling movies. Have any of you guys seen those? Yeah. And I said, wait, you want me to do a movie and not get dropped on my head? And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do it. So I played an intergalactic vampire that shot laser beams through my fingers. And I had a pink fog that followed me everywhere I went. It was the 80s, don't judge. And then after doing that, I decided I wanted to get into the acting game, and
right on. And
it's been working out good ever since, knock on wood.
Yeah. And the first real the glimpse I got.
I'm gonna pull this off here so I don't have to.
Sure.
There we go.
The first real glimpse that I got like on mainstream screen was your time in that first X-Men movie when you were Sabretooth. And I gotta say, you are the Sabretooth that looks like Sabretooth. Because when they tried to rehash that character, it was just like an angry guy. But you're freaking Sabretooth with the full-on jacket.
Yeah, I'm a bigger angry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, No, it's funny. It's funny how I actually got that job. They were wanting to talk to Kevin.
Oh yeah.
And I went and did my research for it and bought the comic books and all of that. And I said, okay, I'm going to get this role. So I went to a props place and I got some fake teeth and some Polydent and I stuck them in, and I went in to talk to the director.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this kid sitting on the couch typing. I go, I'm here to see Mr. Singer. And he doesn't look up, he's just typing. He goes, just a minute. And I'm like, what the hell? And so standing there like an idiot with these teeth in my mouth, and then the guy looks up and goes, "Oh my God, it's Sabretooth." It was Bryan Singer.
Huh.
And I learned you don't judge a book by its cover from that moment, because who would have thought that a little kid would be directing this?
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, he's just a little kid who just loves the books too.
He loves them, and he knows all about them. Yeah, fantastic guy.
Fun beating up Hugh Jackman in the snow.
Oh, of course. Statue of Liberty was a lot more fun though, because we were harnessed to the ceiling and everything, and it's kind of cool.
I am a huge Rob Zombie fan, and the characters that he creates: House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil Reject, Otis Driftwood, Captain Spaulding, the whole Firefly clan. So when the news came, Rob Zombie is making a rehash of Carpenter's original, that was just like, oh my God, like what is he gonna do to that film?
Yeah.
What?
Where is that gonna go, right?
Yeah. But it was like, it was, you read when you kind of like do background on Rob and stuff. He is someone who really has an appreciation for like older stuff.
I mean, he's a horror fanatic. He loves the genre, and when he called me and said, "Hey, I want you to be Michael Myers," I was like, "Rob, I don't want to be a one-dimensional character, you know." Da, da, da. And he goes, "No, I'm going to do the whole backstory, make him, you know, a three-dimensional character, and give him the backstory." I'm like, "Okay, this sounds kind of cool." You know, and it turned out really good.
And I know you did work on Rejects.
I did.
Was that kind of like how that connection formed when he was coming to that?
Yeah. He cast me as the new Rufus. I went in there, I worked for 4 days, and then I thought, okay, well, that was fun. You know, got to work with Rob Zombie and all these people, and that would be the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was up in Canada getting ready to talk to producers about another project, and that's when the phone rang, and it's Rob, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing this Halloween, and if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it." So I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, you just kind of touched on it with, he gave Michael a backstory, and you saw the brokenness of why he is the way that he is.
Yeah, you see he's a product of his environment.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's a screwed up environment.
Yeah. And he, the whole situation with that, I'm curious, what were like meetings and stuff like, because that is something that, you know, was so notorious about Michael, is you didn't know why originally. And now here comes Rob, and he's like, I've got this really real reason why he's like that, which makes that movie scary, because it's not a cult. It is a product of society.
Right, you could be the guy next door.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, when you guys are like doing, you know, table reads and stuff, and you're going through, like, did he ever touch as to how much, why he made Michael the way that he made him? Because it's like a worst case scenario for that little boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked in lengths and in private about it and stuff like that, you know, and because he wanted to make sure that I was, you know, up to speed where he was kind of wanting to go with it, and we were both on the same page, and then we would just collaborate with each other about the kills. It was kind of cool. It got to be the point when he realized I know what I'm doing, he comes in and goes, "Okay, so how are we going to kill people this morning?" You know, and he'd be like a kid in a candy store going, "What are we going to do now? What sick shit are we going to do now?"
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, we just tore people up, you know?
It's like, it's just almost like you're a member of the Firefly family by association, because your kills as Michael are some of the most just hard-pounding, like real rough kills. And I think really in Halloween 2, more even so than 1, like you see like that, just like you're a brute force of just destruction.
Yeah. Like, I mean, one of my favorite kills is when I killed the nurse in the beginning of 2.
Yeah.
You know?
How was that? Because that was like, you guys did the original Halloween 2 in 5 minutes. That was a really cool scene when you find out that it's a dream and everything else. But that, from you tracking inside the hospital to outside the hospital to the shack, like that whole shooting sequence was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. It's like I said, that's one of my favorite kills. killing that nurse who went on to win an Oscar. So technically, I'm the only serial killer to kill an Oscar winner. Thank you. But it was just so intense, you know? I just kept, it was weird. I was stabbing a sandbag, and I just stabbed it like 30 times, and then Rob's like hit it one more time, and I was like, oh, fuck. Boom. And then that's when that's it.
Yeah.
You know? So he wanted the aggression there, and that's why the grunts came in and that. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if someone were to kill somebody, there's never a clean kill, and it's going to be noisy.
Yeah.
You know?
In the original one, you know, his score, his tracking, a lot of his shots, you can tell he's really trying to pay homage to Carpenter's.
Yeah.
Was there a favorite day on the set of that where you're mimicking the original to a certain extent?
You know, I mean, it was just every day was a good day on that film. You know, I mean, anytime you get to play a serial killer like Michael Myers and chase around a bunch of beautiful naked women, you've got a good job, right? You know, I mean, anybody would love it, right? You guys, you kill for it. But you know, I mean, like the sheet over the head scene, all of them, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's just so surreal.
You know, the internet is a blessing and a curse at the same time because of the amount of, you know, pardon my French, shit that it can stir up.
And most of the shit it stirs up isn't even real.
And that was going to be my next question, was everyone, you know, that huge rumor that surrounds 2, you know, he was trying to mess it up on purpose and all that stuff.
I never heard that one. What is that?
This is the theory that Rob was not happy on 2. If you go and you can hear a bunch of people that come up with this theory about how he wasn't happy and he chose the right horse angle and all that, which I actually really kind of dug, by the way, but none of that on set. It was just a normal day type of a thing, making number 2.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the producers stuck their nose into 2 quite a bit, which was the wrong thing to do because the original script was fantastic. But as far as everybody working on it, it was a great time.
And that may be more what they were trying to touch on in the articles, that maybe it was just not letting him do it his way. Yeah,
you know, I mean, look, it's like you say, the internet is a blessing and a curse. Believe about 2% of the shit you have on it. It's like, I had somebody ask me today and it was from the internet, that I wore the mask all the time and paced, and that was a thing that was going around the internet. And I'm like, have you ever had one of those masks on? You try to get that shit off as fast as you can, you know? So there's no way I would stay in character the whole time, you know? So don't believe that one, you know? It's just people make up crap, and, you know, it's like, and then the best thing is these critics, you know? I say they're like 45-year-old men that live in their mother's basement waiting for their mom to order them a pizza and talking bullshit on the internet, you know, and they don't have a job. It's just ridiculous.
I think that's kind of a good golden rule for horror fans, especially because horror films, like a site like Rotten Tomatoes, always gets torn apart. Yeah. And it's like, you can go to see it and you're like, oh my God, this was the best horror film ever. Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, there's haters everywhere. It's all good. F them. Is there a horror character or a premise that you would love to do? I mean, we just had the Friday guys in. Would you want to give Jason a try with anything? No. No? No. I would love to do a Frankenstein. Oh, wow, yeah. I would love to do a Frankenstein. That would be badass. What is your favorite horror film? My favorite horror film, and you guys are all probably going to laugh,
is one of the first ones I saw was Jaws. After I saw Jaws, I did not want to go into the bathtub for 2 weeks afterwards. I still would not go on a cruise, so forget about it.
Now they do.
And The Shining. And The Shining.
And now they do Jaws screenings like at lakes and stuff.
I know, floating in the water.
Yeah.
No, God, no. Don't do that. I'd be the guy that jumped when the little kid came with the fin, you know, that they pull him out of the water.
Do you guys still keep in touch with Rob Zombie? Are there any future projects that you guys may be involved with together?
You know, you never say never. You know, it's when we run into each other, we run into each other, and you never know what's going on in Rob's mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I've started my own production company now, Main Entertainment. Please check it out.
Right on.
And we're getting ready to do. We're in the post on Penance Lane right now, and we're thinking about doing a TV series that we want to do, a biker series. So,
what is Penance Lane about?
Penance Lane is a really screwed up story about a town that gets involved in a bunch of crazy shit. My character has to go in there and to a specific house on Penance Lane and find something.
Right on. And so you guys are wrapping post. So when can we expect to see that?
We're going to be looking at probably releasing it in the spring.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah, we're going to probably do the festival circuit with it and stuff like that and see what happens.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a great cast. I mean, it's kind of going back to my wrestling days. We got Booker T's in it.
Oh, right on.
We got Dallas Page is in it.
Right
John
on.
Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard is in it.
Very
Scout
cool.
Taylor Compton is in it. Daniel
Right on.
Roebuck's in it. So I mean, it's got a great cast.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's open it up. Do you guys have some questions for Tyler? Yeah, right here in the front.
Since you started 2 remakes, would you like to come back if Rob Zombie did a new remake? So he did like a 4 remake, but then he did like a 3, so he did like a 3rd remake. Would you like to start as Michael Myers again?
I will tell you something. Rob will probably never do another Halloween.
If he did, would you want to?
If he did, yes. I don't know what we'd do. I mean, we'd have to tear people's heads off because I don't like doing the same thing every time. It's like the first one was intense, and I said to Rob, Rob, okay, we got to kick this up a notch, and he's all for it. And at the end of the shooting of that second one, I was exhausted, man. I needed a vacation. But, yeah, so, you know, you never say never. Never say never. Questions?
Right. Go ahead.
When you played Ajax in Troy,
Yes.
that's you had some really intense battle scenes in that. Did you have to do any kind of special physical preparation or training in order to?
Well, you're talking about the fight in front of the gates of Troy with Eric
Yes.
Bana?
Yes.
We trained for 2 months for that fight. Yeah, that was pretty intense training. We shot in Malta and Cabo when we filmed that in Cabo, but we started training in Malta before we got there for that fight. Yeah.
Who else had a question right here?
In the first X-Men, that scene where you're strangling Halle Berry, could you explain what it was like?
Choking Halle Berry.
Well, you see, Halle is a very sweet lady. And I mean, you know, I've worked with a lot of great actresses. She was one of the few ladies that did not even need to go into the makeup chair. She's just a beautiful lady and sweet. And we had a great time doing those scenes. And you wish you could choke her, didn't you? Don't you?
Anybody else? Yeah.
I actually came in hearing about possibly your opinion on when it came to reviewers online. And I want to inform you with
How do you get that job?
Step 1, camera. Step 2, post it online. Step 3, nothing. You just hire an editor. Just throw money at it, you get more money.
Is that your job?
Thankfully, no.
Well, I got nothing to say. I don't know who those people are.
They're called reaction channels.
Reaction channels?
Yes.
Well, whatever.
I would say that
I don't have a clue what they are. Have you seen them?
not necessarily what she's describing, but I was just going to kind of refute that a little bit to where the internet can be a curse or a great tool in the sense where the easeability that she is describing as far as uploading something, it's just as easy for independent artists and filmmakers to upload their work to potentially get noticed to be able to maybe one day down the line to work with you.
Yeah, but then there's a lot of people that pirate stuff out there
That
too,
is
which is
very true.
really sucky because that's not a good way to go.
No, right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a question?
Questions? Yes.
Were you a fan of the Halloween movies that children like Michael Myers?
I had seen them, yes. I had seen them.
Were you excited?
Um,
Like it's surreal.
yeah, it's like one of those things you don't realize just how big the franchise is and how the fan following is, which is a good thing. It's like when I got the X-Men, I didn't realize how big it was. But I've been very lucky and blessed that way to get some really cool roles like that. But
I'm a huge Halloween fan, and yesterday at the food truck, my brother's all like, "You ordered your burger." He's like, "You know what that is?" I was like, "I know."
you're a Halloween fan and you didn't know?
Like, I wasn't that
What?
big of a fan of Rob Zombies, but you know.
Oh, thanks. I'm feeling the love in the room. Damn.
But I appreciate you playing Michael Myers again, though.
Well, thank you. We'll go, yeah.
I love Rob Zombie's Halloween. You're my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Did you suffer any like big injuries when doing any of the stunts or anything like that in either of those movies? Were there any major injuries or?
You saw all the people I was killing, right?
Right. I know. Like it looked like yeah.
Yeah, I stubbed my toe once. No. No, I come from a background of pro wrestling, so I mean, I know how to take care of myself and take care of the person I'm working with. So we had my first thing on any film I do is safety first. So, although, funny story is, the first time I worked with Scout's going to be so pissed that I tell this story, because she's got a whole other side to it. We were doing the very first scene, and it's the scene in the basement, right? Where there's the grave there and the dead girl, and she's there. And she picks up my knife and stabs me. She stabbed me in the shoulder. And Rob gets very excited and likes to let it play out. So the prop guy was supposed to switch it out for the retractable knife.
Oh, God.
And he didn't. So, I mean, I had a piece of something there underneath my thing, but so scene just keeps going, and Scout picks up the knife and she stabbed me. Luckily, she wasn't very strong, and it didn't, pierce skin or anything. But I was like, God damn it! I just got stabbed in the first scene. Yeah, And then that same day, the DP yells, keep going, keep going. That was the scene when she runs up through the I guess the screen there and everything and going out to the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
She went up the stairs and he goes, keep going, keep going. So I was trying to clear frame, and there was just a little ledge there, probably about a foot or so. And I went bursting through the doors, and Scout started to go, and it was about a 20-foot fall, and I was like, oh, son of a... So she stabbed me, and then I saved her life. So it's all good. Scout might have a different story about that, but that's what I'm sticking to. Next question back there. Yeah. You. Yes. You. Yeah. You. You. Yeah. You.
I hope no one's asked this yet. Sorry for coming in late to you.
They probably did, but go ahead and ask.
But, let me ask you, what was it like working with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart?
It was fantastic. I mean, Hugh got that because the other actor couldn't do the role. So Hugh came in and we saw his audition for, he showed the audition for Oklahoma he was singing, and I'm like, how is that Wolverine? You know? But then, you know, we got to know each other, and turns out he's a really cool guy, and we had a lot of fun doing it, man. Yeah. And Patrick, I mean, he's fantastic. But Sir Ian McKellen, I mean, he gave me the best advice. He's like, less is more, my dear boy, less is more. And always check for boogers. Because on the big screen, they're 70 feet tall. And then, sure enough, he had one in one of the scenes, and he goes, damn it.
Anybody else? We got time for a couple more. Yeah, right here.
I had a question about your Halloween movies. Was there as much pressure on the first one for producers as it was on the second one to kind of interfere the way they did? And what was the reason they were interfering so much in the second one?
I don't know. I mean, everybody wants to, because the first one did well, so they wanted to, you know, when you're dealing with the other side of the film business, the business side, everybody wants to put their hand in it to say they had a part in it and whatever, you know, and they should realize you just leave it to the creative people to do their job, you do yours, and just leave it like that, you know. It's, you know, I mean, like, we were on set, and Weinstein flew into the set in Atlanta, you know, and he was, you know, trying to be, I guess, smart with me or whatever, and he goes, so, are you a method actor like Daniel Day-Lewis? And I go, yeah, I just killed 20 people this morning getting ready for the role. And Rob just burst out laughing. And then I got up and walked away, and I go, what a fuck. You know?
Yeah.
So that's my Weinstein story. Screw him.
Last question that we got.
Question.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Sure, if you have a question.
Yeah.
You weren't just putting up your hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a new Halloween coming out, and I want to know if you've seen the trailer, how you react to it, and do you wish to see your cast for the role of Michael Myers again?
No. I have seen it. I thought it was pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see. I always reserve until I see the film. The thing is, when you have a different director and a different team doing it, they don't want to bring in the same guy from the other one, because then they'd go, it'd be compared to Rob's too much, you know, because they'd go, oh yeah, it's Rob's Michael Myers anyhow, you know. So they want to do their own thing, which I get. I totally get that. I'm happy with that. I'm, you know, doing other things. I've got my own production stuff going. So it's kind of nice to be able to pass the torch and let somebody else do something and see where they go with it. So we'll see. I'm excited to see it. I'm glad Nick came back, and, you know, Jamie, and I'm excited.
On that note, guys, let's give it up one more time for Tyler.
Thank you, guys. Have fun for the rest of the weekend.
He's gonna be here till the end of the day, yeah. So.
I'm gonna be leaving for the airport in about half hour, 40 minutes or so.
Oh man! So if you want to see him, now's the time. He's out there in the main lobby.
Please come back to Sacramento.
Please, yeah.